Props here on PrizePicks for Wednesday, December 21st. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit by using that link or using promo code TUFF. There's also a Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We do also have a Patreon link in there as well, where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. Yesterday on NBA, we did extremely well on Patreon. You can see here the core plays. This is kind of an example. I give write-ups on why I really like the plays here. And we can see here we went almost a clean sweep. We didn't have any misses in the core plays. Draymond Green pushed at 6 assists. He only played 26 minutes. Warriors got blown out by the Knicks. I think if he plays 30 minutes in this game, he easily gets this. But he pushed for us at 6. But Jokic hit, John Morant hit, Markkanen hit, Beal hit, and Mitchell Robinson hit. And then the YouTube plays hit. The one I said was more safe hit. DeRozan at over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. I think he finished with 33.5 PRA or 33 PRA, and then Jalen Duran cashed his rebounds as well. So a great day yesterday. Overall, I mean, a lot of green on the board on Patreon. So good. If you're interested in that, go ahead and check out that link in the description below. I'm not a gambling expert, not financial advice. These are simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 props that I do like here on the Wednesday, December 21st slate. We have a massive slate overall. I think we got like 13 games today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games, sorry. 11 games on the slate. Massive slate. I think there's only going to be 2 games tomorrow, and then I think almost 14 or 13 games on Friday. So massive slate today. Currently there is some props not on the board yet, but I do think there is some value. Let's get into it, you guys. 2 props that I do like. Let's go. So the first one I like is going to be Markelle Fultz, and I really like his over 29.5 fantasy score here against the Houston Rockets. I think just Markelle Fultz really starting to show the player that he is. I think even dating back to last season before he got injured, was showing on a day-to-day basis that he was an effective player. But 29.5, again, take a look at this. His last 4, he recently, over his last 3, has gotten his minutes, I guess, approved for 30-plus minutes a game. And he is coming off a game where he had 33 minutes against the Atlanta Hawks, where he had 45.7 fantasy score. But before that, 2 games against a tough Boston defense, 28.5 and 26.8. And then again, previously before against Atlanta, had 51.9. But Markelle Fultz, like I said, slowly but surely coming along here. We look at his fantasy score game log this season. All three games where he's played more than 31 minutes, he's hit the over on this. I mean, he had 33 fantasy points against Milwaukee, 45 against Atlanta, like I said, and 51 against Atlanta. But you could see, I mean, these 2 close misses here against Boston, where he played 30 minutes and 28 minutes. Both these games were kind of blowouts. And then Atlanta down here, he had 23. And then obviously you could see his minutes pretty low here, 19, 23, 28, when he was first just getting started this season. But if you look at the Magic, they won like 3 or 4 straight games since Markelle has been kind of getting his minutes minutes restriction off, I guess you could say. But I just love this matchup for Markelle tonight, right? Houston giving up the most fantasy points to point guards, the most points to point guards, the most assists to point guards. Rebounds, I'm not sure where they are in rebounds. Yeah, near the bottom in rebounds, but most points, most assists, most fantasy points, most steals. Up there in blocks, 3rd most blocks, most 3-point attempts. Just overall horrendous against the point guard position. I think Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green are probably going to be guarding Markelle, and they rank like 69th and 15th as far as like defensive efficiency for their positions, I guess guards you could say. But look at the point guard's fantasy score against the Rockets game log this season. I mean, this is not even including like October games. This is just like late November to December games. I mean, Curry, look at this. Like, FanDuel is the accurate comparison as far as fantasy score, the breakdown to PrizePicks. Curry right here, Trae Young. I mean, we just need 29.6, right? Right here. I mean, look at all these point guards that have gone over this line, right? 31.6. Dinwiddie, 32.4. Jamal Murray, 33. Ish Smith had 34. And in that game, he only had 10, 5, 8, and 2 and 1 block. Like, look at this line from Ish Smith, and he had 34 fantasy points. 10, 5, 8, 2, and 1. Easily, Markelle could get that tonight. Trey Jones, 34. Bruce Brown, 35. Trey Jones, 37 again. Chris Paul, 38. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, point guards have easily been able to dominate and really impact the game here against Houston. I also love this play here currently on the board because we do have a potential injury here. It looks like Franz Wagner is questionable. Obviously, if he's out, which is elevate Markel's usage even more, I think he'll probably become the second option offensively behind Paolo. Um, you know, I'm sure Cole Anthony probably slide in here, but Markel I think he's going to be able to really have a nice game tonight. Really starting to play well. Over his last 5 games, 10.8 potential assists, along with 10.2 potential rebounding chances. That's over 20 potential rebound plus assist opportunities for Markel. Currently, his rebounds or his points plus assists line is at 19.5, and there's minus 130 at BetMGM on the over on this one. So just that in combination with Wagner potentially being out, Markel's minutes going up. We take a look at this. Back-to-back games, 30-plus minutes here. Both these games on the road. I believe this game has a pretty close spread as well. Yeah, 1.5 point spread. This game is being played on the road in Houston. So hopefully this game is, going to be close. Houston doesn't play any defense. Again, we're just hoping for not a blowout here. Houston plays so much better at home, so that's what I'm hoping for. Magic have been playing extremely well. But Markelle Fultz, over 29.5 fantasy score. You could also take a look at his PRA here or his points. I'm taking fantasy score just because his ability to get these steals. If you take a look at this, like his steals and blocks, he's got a game against Atlanta a week ago. He had 4 steals and a block. 3 steals here against Boston. 3 stocks here against Boston again. 2 steals here, 3 stocks here. So, Markelle, he can get in those passing lanes and get some steals as well, which is I just think this 29.5 fantasy score is a little bit too low. I think he's averaging over the last 5, 1.10 fantasy points per minute, which is higher than Darius Garland and DeMar DeRozan. And if we take a look at Garland's fantasy line, he's sitting at 34.5. So I think there's some value here with Fultz at 29.5. So that's the first play of the day is Markelle Fultz over 29.5 against Houston. A prop, and we're going right back to the wagon here. Just kidding. We're going to Luka Doncic over 24.5 PRA in the first half. He obviously missed this last game. He had 22 PRA in that first half against Minnesota 2 days ago. For this game here, he was questionable. He had missed the previous game. He sat with a calf strain, was questionable for this one here, and then ended up playing. Didn't really look too engaged as far as me watching the game here. Finished with 22 PRA though, so super close. I was actually following the game on my phone, and it said he made a 3 to have 25 PRA, but I don't know what happened. It was just a mistake or whatever, but super close to it, and he didn't even play that well. Ended up getting ejected from this game. I think for this game, in total, he finished with 19 points. Played 28 minutes, 19 points, 19, 6, and 7. In that first half, though, he finished with 13, 4, and 5 here with 22 PRA in 18 minutes. Only took 10 field goal attempts here, which is obviously kind of below his average. Went 4 for 10, 4 turnovers. So again, did not play well at all. I'm expecting Luka to come out extremely motivated. We're talking about a guy who has only missed this line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 times this season. Probably over 20 times he's cashed this for us. Has been an absolute wagon play. If you make player prop bets, first half prop bets on PrizePicks, you guys are well familiar with this play. It's been very profitable all season long. I'm going back to it here. Minnesota is number 4 in the NBA in pace, so it should be quite a bit more possessions here for Luka, especially in that first half. Mavericks are down here near the bottom of pace, so a pace up matchup here for Luka Doncic. And the matchup's great. The matchup's great to me, in my opinion. The Minnesota Timberwolves to the point guard position give up the 3rd most points and the 2nd most rebounds to the point guard position. Now, this is kind of somewhat not fully dependent here. Let's refresh to see if we have any updates. But I know Gobert is questionable along with Kyle Anderson. I don't think it should affect anything too much. Luka is matchup proof in my opinion. But keep this in mind here. Obviously, it helps with no Gobert, but I said that in the last on Patreon when he missed this one. So, with Gobert without, I like Luka here to bounce back. I don't like to usually make player props based on players' motivation and things like that, but I expect Luka to come out here and play extremely well tonight, play extremely aggressive. When he got ejected the last game and they lost. Also, too, tonight, I think he gets Tim Hardaway back, but he doesn't have Dorian Finney-Smith. So I think offensively for Luka's PRA, I think Tim Hardaway being out there helps him. If you watch them play, the Mavericks play, he gets quite a bit of assists. I think probably maybe 3 or 4 assists a game to Tim Hardaway coming off screens off a Luka pass for a jump shot. So that should help him. With these shooters on the floor here with Tim Hardaway and Bullock Kleber kind of doesn't help him as much, but I think Tim Hardaway coming back will definitely help Luka in this game. 229.5 over under. Dallas is 3-point home favorites here. But yeah, going with the wagon play here. Luka over 24.5 PRA. This is just one of those ones where if it doesn't hit, we live with it because it's Luka. So 24.5 PRA for Luka first half, and then Markelle Fultz full game 29.5 fantasy score. 2 player props here on PrizePicks. Wednesday, December 21st. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these plays. Drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.